I've titled today's video, When God Fights Like a Lamb, from Colossians chapter 2, verses 14 through 15. Goliath came out every morning in full armor, 9 feet tall, bronze helmet, catching the sun. He had been a warrior since he was young. Tip of his spear alone, Bible says, weighed 15 pounds, and he had a shield bearer walking in front of him. Goliath knew power. He was big, he was loud, unshakable. He makes everyone in the room sit down and just shut their mouths. The Israelites tried to stand. They stood and fixed their eyes on Goliath and decided there was a clear winner in that valley, and it was not them. Then a young teenager shepherd boy showed up, ruddy, dirt still under his fingernails from the field work. Saul tries to put his armor on him, but he sets them aside. Instead, he picks up 5 smooth stones from a creek, and he walks towards the biggest, most terrifying man anyone in that valley had ever seen. And to every watching eye, it looked like a comedy about to turn tragic. See, when we face our troubles, our Goliath, we want God to show up decisively, unmistakably. We want God to intervene and settle everything all at once. We wait for that, especially when the situation is dire. We want fire from heaven like the time of Elijah. And when God doesn't show up that way, we start to worry, even in fear. Maybe he forgot about me. Maybe he didn't see this. Maybe God's busy, and in the midst of fear and trembling, we miss what is actually happening. The Israelites made the same mistake. They fixed their eyes upon Goliath. They should have kept their eyes on a shepherd boy who walked toward Goliath with a sling and 5 stones. A preview, a trailer of something far bigger than that valley and that giant. When God finally shows up, he comes without a parade, a baby in a borrowed barn, a carpenter from Nazareth. Can anything good come out of Nazareth, people said. It's a place for nobodies. Basically, it's a nowhere for nobodies. The religious leaders think he was dangerous. The Romans think he's annoying, a nuisance, until they decide he is worth executing. He goes to the cross alone, while his followers fled and hid and locked themselves up in their own rooms. To every watching eye, Goliath has won. Again, the story is over. The Bible says God chose things the world considers foolish in order to shame those who think they are wise. And he chose things that are powerless to shame those who are powerful. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. They were watching the wrong player. You see, the cross is the weapon, and the death is the victory. God chose the thing that looked like defeat to accomplish the one thing no sword, no shield could ever accomplish: victory over sin that separates us from God, taking the judgment we deserved, pulling the power out of death itself. You see, the reason Jesus wins is the same reason David wins. Neither one fights by the rules the enemy expects. Goliath expected a soldier. He got a shepherd with a sling. Hell expected God to come in fire and brimstone. God came with a cross as a servant, and the cross worked. The Bible says he canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. In this way, he disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed them publicly by his victory over them on the cross. Colossians 2, 14 through 15. My friends, you may be waiting for God to show up in a way you recognize. The situation in front of you is real. The weight of it is real. And you have been looking at the valley, waiting for something obvious and decisive to finally arrive. Maybe a fire from heaven, perhaps? And some of you are carrying accumulated weight of things done and things left undone. A version of yourself you would rather God not see. Now, you've been managing it, explaining it, trying to keep it under the carpet, but you know it is still there. And all of these are same problems. You are watching Goliath. You are fixing your eyes on Goliath. You are reacting to what you see in front of you, measuring against your own resources. So the only thing that remains is uncertainty and fear, anxiety and insecurity. Let me share with you what the cross already did. Everything you have ever did, everything you're ashamed of doing, everything that would disqualify you, Jesus took it all, nailed it to the cross, canceled it. See, Colossians does not say God filed it away or swept it under the carpet or he ignored it. No, he took it away, gone forever upon the cross. The shepherd boy walked into the field with nothing but the name of his father and the willingness to lay his life down and the giant face planted. Jesus made enemies into friends. He made guilty people clean. He took the sinful nature in the human heart, the thing Goliath represents and the thing you carry around every day, and he took it all. He absorbed it all, and as he declared, it is finished. You do not need God to show up the way you imagine. You need him to have done what he already did. He showed up in weakness, in a borrowed barn, a borrowed tomb, a story people in power dismissed. But death could not hold him. Bless God. And may you lean on this God who gave his life so you may live a life of victory. Do not fear Goliath. Instead, fix your eyes upon Jesus. God bless you, my friends, and I'll see you soon.